Hey there. In this video, we're going to cover the accounts object in Salesforce, what it means, what fields are on there, what to keep an eye out for, etc. So first and foremost, I do want to explain what an account is, essentially. So an account is going to represent a company that we work with, so one of our prospects or one of our respective clients. And there's really three different types. You could say maybe four different types of um, accounts that we can have in Salesforce. One is going to be a management company. That's pretty cut and dry. That's going to be like your fee manager, your large players such as Graystar, Lincoln Property, RPM, etc. Another type is going to be an ownership group. So people that specialize in owning these assets and then usually um, hire a fee manager to manage the property on site. Some of the large ownership groups are going to be groups such as Livcore, Nuveen, Coleridge, BlackRock, etc. And then a third one is going to be a developer. So that's going to be people who are actually building the assets. And then the fourth one is going to be a blend of the first two, and that's going to be an owner operator. So someone who both owns the asset and operates it. Um, so with that said, you can see my screen in Salesforce. Um, the view that I'm at is the accounts kind of homepage, if you will. You can navigate here by clicking up in this top left section up here. You can click down. You'll see a list of all of the objects in Salesforce. I just chose accounts, which is why I'm here at this view. And by default, Salesforce will always make each view that you have per object default to recently viewed. And if you're new to Fetch or you haven't spent much time in Salesforce, you might not have anything under your recently viewed. So you can choose from other lists as well, such as all accounts. So you can see every account we have in Salesforce, or customers as an example, to see what accounts we've already done business with. So I'm just going to select an account really quick to walk through. So United Apartment Group here, owned by Mr. Lyons. So I'm going to start off in the details section here, and I'll go down just pretty much in order here of how you see it. So account name, pretty self-explanatory. That's just going to be the name of the company. Parent account is something that y'all won't worry about, so I'm not going to cover it here. Market and additional markets. This is just important for you whenever you're creating an account. If there's a time that you come across a company that's not in Salesforce and you're creating them, the market is going to be essentially where the management group does most of their work. It tends to also be where they're headquartered at. I would say 9.9 times out of 10. That's how that works. This is just going to be a single value that you can select. And then additional markets is going to represent where else they do business. So in this instance, you can select a couple of them and move them over to this chosen column. Next is account owner. So this is going to be the person who is the main point of contact for this account. Not all accounts are going to have a true owner. We're in the process, and by the time you're watching this video, this may very well be the case. But any account that has a main point of contact, the account owner should be, it will be, an active sales rep on the team. Any accounts that are owned by a user that says review for sales, or is someone such as Michael Patton, Joe Summers, myself, Michael Whited, that's going to be an open account, which means that there's not one sole person who's a main point of contact for that account. So we ask if there is an owner who is an active sales rep, that before you interact with that account, that you reach out to them and understand the engagement rules, which I'll cover here in a second. Account type. This is going to be representative of the first thing that I chatted about. What kind of account is this? Are they a developer? Are they a manager? Are they an owner operator? In the case of United Apartment Group here, they do everything. Um, that's not totally uncommon, but it's not the most frequent thing that we see. Unit count, this is an estimation essentially of how many units that we think they have under management. And they are pretty broad groups here. And we just have this here so that we can get a gauge of, is it a super large national account, kind of a mid market player, or are they really just a niche one to maybe two market company? Sales special account type. This is something that will be populated for you. As you can see here, Jeff actually does not have the ability to edit this field, and that's because only revenue operations has the ability to do that. What this special account type will tell you is if it is a national account, so something that our national team works on primarily, or if it is a named account. A named account essentially means there is only one point of contact for that, and you by no circumstances should reach out to that company without touching base with the account owner. These two fields under here, sales engagement rules, sales engagement notes. This is a place where the account owner, if it is owned by an active rep, can put in some notes around engagement, what they would like to see you do. As a sales rep who might have been introed into this company, or you have a deal that crosses ties with this company. So best practice is always to reach out to that rep. However, they might choose to put in this note section or this rules section, hey, you're free to work this regionally. Just, shoot them an email if you are, so that they're in the loop. So that's pretty much all the account details section. This address information section, pretty self-explanatory. This analysis section will be going away, so I'm not going to touch on that. And then same with this MSA detail section. This will be filled out if someone has an MSA with us. If so, on a weekly basis, so every Sunday night, this data will get updated from our warehouse system, and it'll let us know how many units they have with us, how many communities do they have with us, what markets that they're in, how many packages have we sent them, or how many packages have we delivered them all time, how many dollars do we estimate we've saved them, same with hours that we've estimated we've saved them. So that's the detail section of the account. I'm going to hop over to this related section. And the first thing that you'll see here is related contacts. Now, an account is a standard Salesforce object, and contacts are as well. And they have what we call a parent-child relationship, where every single contact needs to be parented to an account. So whenever you're creating a contact in Salesforce, you're always going to need to list what account it belongs under. And the reason for that is so that you can go to the account, you can click on this related tab, and then you can see all of the contacts that sit underneath of that account. The reason that that's important, I'm going to skip ahead over here and go to this right-hand side. This is our activity feed. And what this is going to do is it's going to show all of the information or all of the activity that's happened to this account or to contacts that live underneath this account. So this right-hand panel right here kind of aggregates all of the activity that's happened in this account. You'll see here emails come through in this grayish color, and then you'll see this Pardot line pop up a lot. Pardot is our marketing automation platform. So these are going to be like email campaigns that have gone out to contacts at this account. All right. And then going back over here to the related tab, we have opportunities, which we'll touch on in a later video. But there's really two main ways that an account can be tied to an opportunity. You'll see that it can be an ownership group or management group. So like I said, we'll cover on that later, but this is just another way to say, hey, if you want to look at an account from a global perspective, you can see how many opportunities we have with them. You can then click in here, you can click view all, and then you can see the details of all of them, such as what stage it's in, what market, how many units, if it's stabilized or leased up, when it closed or when it's projected to close, and who the owner is. All right. And then same here, just like with opportunities, we have communities. Communities is another thing that we'll touch on in a later video. It is just representative of the properties that they have. So here you can get a list of communities that we have in Salesforce that are tied to this account. And then the last thing I'll touch on here is this files section. There's nothing uploaded here. But if we have, say, an MSA with a company, so a document that is not pertained to one property, but is pertained to this account globally, that will be updated in the files section. So if you're ever looking for like a master services agreement, that will live under the account, under the files section. And that's about it for accounts that I'll cover in this video. So if you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to us over at the Revenue Operations team, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.